It's hard to change. Good memories are kind of like a drug. They get in your bones. I like Christmas lights because they remind me of her skin and her wavy hair. I love the forest because it makes me think of my dad. I love Halloween because it reminds me of getting to hide my insecurities in a costume when I was a little kid. I drink to try and go back to all those parties. In that sense, my life is just kind of chasing the dragon of my own happy memories. But she's gone now. My dad screwed up my family. The candy always churned my stomach. And those parties were all pretty lame. That's the come down of memories. It's easy to make yourself forget all the bad stuff in the past. And you wake up one day and you wonder where it all went wrong. And think about how you can fix it so you can get back to that ideal time that's now past. But that's the secret. It's not about when things went wrong. It's that things never really went right in the first place. All those memories are just chasing idealized versions of how things should be. So you end up driving yourself crazy with should be's and used to be's and convince yourself that you're at your lowest when really today is no different than any other fairly mediocre day. How the hell can you wake up at 6 a.m. and decide by 9 a.m. that the whole day is a complete bust? If you're not careful, you just slide down so deep that you start to convince yourself that you're happy when really you're just drinking yourself to death as a way to pass the time between waking up and falling asleep. It's easy to let yourself fall into hopelessness when you can't even imagine what hope looks like. But hope doesn't live in today. Hope lives in tomorrow. But I live in yesterday, and all tomorrow promises is another hangover, another bad night of sleep, and that same dull ache in my chest. I tell myself I'm living in the moment when really my moment is 5 years old. I tell myself I need to get laid, but that's only because I don't have any other suitable index for emotional intimacy. I keep lying to myself and saying that I'm okay feeling this way, when really I'm just sad, lonely, and adrift. The problem is that I have to learn to be okay with those things before I can move past them. Right now I'm just spinning my wheels chasing the past, but it's not a fix. It's just more painkillers for the same old aches. But my aches are now old enough for first grade, and I have a tolerance for everything but the sadness. But the fire in my gut isn't just heartburn from the whiskey. I made a friend. I went on a date. I've done new things. I've got more things planned for later this week, and I've got more cool projects I'm going to be working on next week. There's hope on the horizon if I'm willing to look up from my ratty shoes and stop living in the same terrible past. Maybe it'll be different, maybe it'll be the same, but I have to try, don't I? That's the best plan I have right now. But you know what? My systems and all my nonsense that I've been talking about so far actually work. I'm able to get out in front of the bad days a lot faster, and when I stick to prong 1 and prong 2, as discussed in previous videos, I actually do feel better as a person when I go outside and I do different things. And I've been trying to stick to them. And I've been better at some than at others, that's true. But I got these things nailed to my wall now. I see them every morning when I wake up, and I keep remembering that I just have to keep pushing and keep following my rules, and eventually it might work out. It gives me hope. Writing this gives me hope. Maybe, just maybe, I can get my crap together enough to start filling this hole in my chest. I just have to focus and keep going. Okay, so I was pretty happy with how the script turned out so far. But then there was a problem. Because after I wrote this, I went to a party at my new friend's house, and I saw a ghost. Not actually a ghost, but an old friend of mine from years ago. I don't remember exactly how long at this point, but I want to say it's been like 2 or 3 years. He was a part of my old circle of friends that I stopped talking to because they were kind of depressing, kind of messed up people, and I wanted to try to move forward with my life, and I felt like they were sort of stuck in the same old place. But I was at this party, and I look up, and he walks in, and he looks exactly the same. He's got like longer hair, but he dresses the same. He still had on the same hat that I gave him all those years ago. talked the same, still had the same girlfriend. Everything about him was the same. And I asked him after the others, and they're all the same. And they've moved up at their same shitty jobs or whatever, but they're the same people doing the same stuff. And I ended up back at the same place where they were. Sure, it was just a coincidence or an accident or whatever, but I'm spending all this time sitting here thinking about the past and how I need to stop living in it, and then my past literally comes back to haunt me. And it's terrifying. It feels like I've undone all of this progress, because I'm still where they are. I did all these different new things. Like, since I talked to these people, I got my driver's license, I graduated from college, I got my job working where I work now, I met new people, I moved out of town for a month and change, I did all of these different things, and I still ended up back in the same place. It's kind of horrifying, really. It's like I can't escape it. I can't move past my past. And I don't really know what to do with that. I guess it means I just have to keep pushing harder, but I'll tell you right now, that's not sounding too easy. But I gotta do something. Also, I finally got around to working on some projects that I have had in the works for a while now, because if I'm going to be a superhero, I need some superpowers or some super gear. And the first of those projects should be starting to take shape fairly soon. So keep your eyes peeled, because there might be something kind of fun coming down the pike. Okay, thanks.